Hi. Um, we're going to have a bit of fun today. I'm going to tell you, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's show is going to be something special, but today's show is going to be something fun. Today, we're going to learn how to tie our shoes. Um, actually, we're going to try to learn something, um, a bit of an open secret about consulting. And I kind of wanted to do this because I'm a consultant. I told you I'm a consultant. I'm a software consultant. But I think a lot of people miss the point to a consultant. And sadly, I think that includes a lot of consultants, which is really bad because it's also part of the fun of being a consultant. Being a consultant's fun, and you get to you get to offer some people what I consider to be a really great service. Otherwise, I'd find something else to do. But sort of the real power of it lies in something people never talk about, and I thought I could relate it in a easy story. And that's kind of what's with the background. Is the background is just a photo I took on my farm. I don't think it's anything in particular. Maybe it meant something specific when I took it, but I just, it's just a picture. So that's not where I'm at now. I'm in my office with a green screen, but the story takes place on the farm. And I'm largely just reforesting the farm. I mean, some of it is used for hay, but I'm largely reforesting it. And a few years ago, I was planting 3,200 seedlings, which takes a bit of work to plant 3,200 seedlings. So I got this guy I went to high school with in Boyle County to help me with the seedlings. And along the way, I was having this problem. And what it amounts to is I had a new pair of boots, and I'd had them a few months, but the laces on them were really crazy slippery. And it kept coming untied. And it was even worse on my farm because the parts of my farm that aren't used for hay and aren't currently forested have a lot of briars and stuff on it. So it was really bad about snagging the shoestrings. So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce you to my right foot, which is the actual foot that was used in this story. So I'd been talking to people about, hey, what am I missing with these shoestrings? I mean, my dad worked for Norfolk Southern. I knew plenty of people who had industrial jobs who wore work boots all the time. It's not like planting trees was the first time I'd wore boots. These things were just really slippery. And the most common response I got is, yeah, they're kind of annoying sometimes. I'm like, okay. So I was out with this old friend planting trees, and I asked him, I'm like, is there something stupid I'm missing about tying my shoes? He said, well, I don't know. Let me see how you tie them. So I bent over. Let's make sure you can get this right. I'll show you how I tied my shoes and how I tie my shoes and what I learned along the way. So, I just do the thing where I cross and make the little loop and tie. And even though these laces are a few years old, you can see the boots are no longer new. They're still slick enough. This is very easy to untie. I mean, that just takes nothing. So you get the first little briar, first anything like that, they come quickly untied. And he saw how he didn't let me get all the way through. He's like, no. Let me show you how to tie them. So, you do the little cross thing, just like you normally do. And you make 2 loops here. And this one goes through twice. And even after a few years, I'm not as practiced at doing it as I am the other way. Now, this makes for a nice, you can still yank it loose, but in day-to-day, they never come loose. I even do my running shoes like this now too, and you can still, boom, loose. So it's not a knot. You probably don't want to stare at my foot anymore. It's not a knot, like it's never going to come loose. It's still just tied. It's just tied slightly differently. And sorry, I tend to look at the screen up there instead of the camera sometimes. It's just tied a little differently. And it holds a lot better. And me being me, a few months later, I was actually studying a book of knots, and I turned out there's a few similarities between that knot and a surgeon's knot. So that's interesting. And I don't know, maybe I was the last one on the planet to learn that trick. But what does this have to do with consulting? Well, here's the thing, is you don't really become an effective consultant. And this is true. I mean, I've told my numerous clients this. That's why I called it an open secret. You don't really become an effective consultant by being smart and studying a lot of theory. It just doesn't work that way. You can become somewhat effective by practicing a lot and building a lot of different things. But if you don't really offer any unique value there from just them hiring a dedicated employee. The place that consultants can actually add value is they're experienced in many different contexts. And at first, it might not sound like that's what that story was about, but it is. It was me in a different context, and it's, in a different context in a very easy, I hope, very easy to understand, hopefully very relatable way. But that's essentially what I do. I mean, more than anything, I'm like a honeybee carrying pollen from flower to flower as I go between clients. I mean, yes, a big part of my job is knowing the theory and being able to solve the problem, so on and so forth. But often their employees can do that. And if they, that as power they need permanently, they're going to want to hire people for that. The beauty of a consultant is they can come in, work for some short period of time. They've seen a lot. It's kind of like I've worked 15 or 20 careers instead of one career. I've worked in a lot of different industries, a lot of different contexts. And to me, that's fun. I like being a little out of context. I like being surrounded by people who have a different life experience than I do, and can teach me something different. And that's also why I would like for us to vote for more people like myself to get them in Congress, because that's what I really want from congressmen. I mean, I don't know if you ever watch C-SPAN and watch these inquiries, but 9 times out of 10 they're grandstanding. 9 times out of 10 they're trying to sell their theory. It's like, I don't know if they lack the I don't want to attack them, but let's just say to be able to do that honestly, you have to be confident enough to not feel like you're an idiot when you ask the question. You can joke about being an idiot, but you can't really do it if you really feel like you're an idiot, or it's hard to. And at the same time, you have to be humble enough to understand that you don't know everything. As a matter of fact, what you know is an extreme minority of what's out there in the universe. So keep that in mind. I hope you vote for me. I hope you vote for people who are a little like that. I hope you always look for that. That's something we need more of in our legislature. That's what they're supposed to be, is representatives. And, no one of us naturally represents 700,000 people. You need to get out there, and you need to learn from people, and you need to have an open mind, and you need to listen. So tomorrow's show, I'm really hyped about. Tomorrow's show, we have a libertarian police officer by the name of David Patterson. and we're going to be discussing one of my very favorite topics. I hope you join. I think we're going to have a really lively conversation. And if you do join in, you're welcome to ask Dave questions as we go. I hope to see you there. Have a great day.